slick flow running. Motherfuckers always hating on something. Took a small break to fill up my plate, cause all of this running around got me hungry. Tell 'em I'm back.
What is going on, Dank fam? It's your boy Mike Diesel, and today I have some really great news, guys. So this video is gonna be a whole lot of talking. Let's get that out of the way first. Try to be as calm and collective as I can, but I'm just super excited, people. Let me get you guys caught up. About a week ago, I went ahead and came back down to Florida. As you guys know, we got Betty White rebuilt. She's running top notch. Nothing bad to say about that. Everything has been great. So now that Betty White's all taken care of, I can kind of work on the channel a little bit more, put more time into editing, everything else. I hope you guys are liking the new test rides that we're doing. But you guys see the title, so you already have an idea what's going on. But I want to give you a little bit of backstory behind that. So last month when I was traveling, I broke the frame on my ZX6R. So obviously I had the money to buy the frame, but taking $1,000 out of your pocket when you're traveling on the road 24/7 is kind of a nice hit to anybody. So rather than taking that money out of my pocket, I touched this Patreon savings from everybody that pitches in every month, and we used that money to go ahead and buy a new frame for the bike. It was a really appreciative moment knowing that that support was finally used in a good way. It felt really great to know that I used that money for something good, and everybody in the Patreon family knows that their efforts are what keep my bike on the road and keep me riding. I was so appreciative of that, guys. I went ahead and had the idea a couple weeks back to find a bike that we could go ahead and do a build series on, and not selling $100 decals, $130 decals. Legitimately, anybody has the ability to enter it if they wanted to. But I just wanted a real deal giveaway, you know. So, you know, I thought about it. I looked for a while, tried to find bikes and everything else, but nothing really happened. But I think the way the universe works, you know, when you want something bad enough, even if you're not looking for it, it's just gonna fall into your lap, guys. But yeah, the perfect opportunity came the other night, and I jumped on it, and I'm excited to tell you guys what's going on, so let's check it out. Besides what's going on today, I had one of the best weekends of my life. Just not to get into too much detail, but I'm 26 years old, and I have a 26-year-old brother, but I met him for the first time this weekend, so. That much being said, let me just show you guys what we're doing. Say hello to the Patreon giveaway. Mamma mia. So I know you're thinking, wow, I just gassed everybody up and just showed you guys a parts bike and a bunch of pieces. But yes, that is the giveaway bike, guys. And as you guys remember, one of the best times of this channel's life was when we did the budget build. We bought a ZX6R for $600, and we went ahead and put $700 into it and had a perfectly running stunt bike for $1,300. I traded that bike a while back for the CBR 1000, but you guys love that build series for the fact that we're building something, also the inspiration behind it. Anybody has the ability to take a bag of nothing and turn it into something. But this bike is totally different. This isn't a clapped out bike. This bike is a 2018 ZX6R with 4,000 original miles on it and a clean title frame. But the best part about this bike is that it's nothing right now, guys, but we are gonna turn this into the baddest stunt bike I've ever built in my life, and I'm never going to ride it but a few times just to test it out. So that means I'm not thrashing the bike. We're gonna build it, put all the best parts on it, and give it to somebody. Easy as that. And the best part is, guys, Patreon is worldwide. So if you guys are in India, China, wherever you're at, you guys can enter and win this bike. But the catch is, I'm hand delivering it to anybody that wins, as long as you're in the US. So if you're in whatever country and end up winning this bike for $1 a month on Patreon, then just catch a flight over here and scoop your bike up, and I'll go ahead and show you how to wheelie it. But the cool thing about Patreon is, like I was saying earlier, not everybody has $100 and something to buy a decal for the chance to win something. I know I personally don't. You know, I'm hosting giveaways here and there, but at the end of the day, I'm just scared to enter them. But the fact with these build series are, I'll be doing behind the scenes builds on this bike, piece by piece, showing you guys how I'm building this stunt bike. And maybe you guys don't even want a stunt bike, you just want to see how a stunt bike's built piece by piece, and you put $1 in a month or you put $5 in a month, next thing you know, you accidentally won yourself a brand new stunt bike. Don't get me wrong though, everybody on this channel is gonna see exactly what happens to this bike and the results as we build it over time. But the people on the Patreon that are throwing that little bit extra support on there are gonna have a chance to win this bike. But more importantly, if you guys are involved in this monthly, you're gonna have your own opinion on what we should do to this bike as far as colors, parts, and everything else goes. So what are we titling this video? It's gonna be called the Wreck to Ripper build series. And I already got a name for this bike because I suck at naming my bikes. You guys wanna know what the name is? It's Patty. So we're gonna name the bike Patty. We're gonna do a full-on build series, top of the line parts, guys. Anybody that's in the Patreon is gonna see the behind the scenes build videos before it goes public on YouTube. You guys are gonna have your own opinions on what we should do with the bike, dropping colors and everything else that you guys think we should do to this bike. Because remember, this isn't my bike, so it's not up to me as far as what color we should make it and everything else, because I'm not gonna be the one riding it. You guys are. So let me know what you guys think of this idea. I really hope to have you guys a part of the Patreon channel. We have 88 Patreons right now. I've been pumping out tons of videos on there, guys, so even if you don't care about this bike build, you want nothing to do with it, if you want more content from me, that's what the Patreon is built for. But I just want to give you guys something back for as much support that you guys have given me. So we'll have some doubters in the comments that think this broken down bike isn't going to turn into anything, but the people that know me and know the type of motivation that we're going to have on this channel, we're going to turn this into the sexiest looking bike you guys have ever seen. So just laugh at people that are taking us not seriously. It's really going down, people. We're gonna get this bike built. And the best part is, guys, every single bike I built is to the T. I've been building stunt bikes for years and years and years. The problem with me is that I thrash them to pieces. So imagine me building the top of the line stunt bike. I've owned a 2013 before, so I know exactly the best parts, the best everything. I know exactly how to build the best stunt bike ever. And I'm never gonna ride it, so it's gonna stay that way until you get it in your hands, people. And I'll be honest with you guys, last night, buying this bike, out of all the bikes, I've owned 30, 40 bikes probably in my life, but of all the bikes that I've purchased, this is the most exciting purchase that I've ever had, knowing that this bike isn't even gonna be mine. So the reason I like this giveaway the most is that it works for anybody's budget. You can put $50 in a month and have 250 entries after a 5-month build, or you can put $5 in a month and have 25 entries after a 5-month build, but it's anybody's game to win. So it's up to you guys how much you guys want to support, if you do want to in general, but that's exactly how the layout is, and it's exclusively for my Patreon team, since they are going to be one-on-one a part of this build getting the bike done. If you put $1 in a month for 5 months that the build takes, hypothetically, that means that you'll have 5 entries into this giveaway. If you do $10 a month for 5 months, that means you'll have 50 entries into the giveaway. So it's budget friendly for anybody's budget, but it's just a matter of how high the odds are that you want to have for winning this bike. If you like to have low odds and just show a little support, then throw $1 in. But if you want the highest of odds, and you can throw 100 in a month or whatever the case may be. But it's anybody's game to win. The reason it's for Patreon only is because they are the ones that are involved with this bike the most. They are the ones that have gotten us to this point to be able to afford this project. And it's only proper that they are the ones that are gonna get the bike once it's done. If you guys help build this bike, it's only proper that one of you guys win it. So that's the gist of it, guys. We're gonna build a dope stunt bike. It's gonna be filmed. If you're building a stunt bike yourself, you're gonna know exactly how I'm building mine and all that good stuff. But less talking, we got everything covered for the most part. I'm gonna just go through all the parts and show you exactly what we got in this big hunk of junk pile. But I'm really excited. Like, this might look like a big mess to some people, but it's just one big puzzle piecing together in my head, and I'm so stoked, people. You don't understand. So we'll go through all the parts that we got in this big pile. All right, so we got an air box, the top of the air box, 2 air filters, the fairing stay, which is actually still intact, and these OEM fairing stays are actually really sturdy considering like the older years. So I've actually ran the OEM fairing stay on my 13 and it never broke on me, so we might actually get a steel stunt stay, but for now it's fine. And this kind of paints it a lot better for you guys what bike we're actually dealing with, because right now this thing looks like $10 worth of value right here, but when you look at this front fairing, this is a 2018 ZX6R, people. So this is what the bike looked like from factory. So looking at this fairing, you guys can understand how stoked I am right now, because this color scheme was out last year, and now we have a wrecked version of this bike with a minty motor that we're about to build into a top-notch stunt bike. Like, I'm just so jealous of you guys, and I'm the one building it. All right, we get back into it. OEM headlights, OEM fairings. We got the rectifier here. It's funny because the pictures in the ad had the wheels on the bike, but he's like, oh, you're coming to look at the bike? Let me take the wheels off, so we have to carry it inside of the back of the truck. Doesn't make sense. Yeah, but this bike is an ABS model, so we're gonna flash the ECU. It's gonna help with the cooling. The bike actually starts to cool off at 180 degrees versus 215 when it's stock. So the ECU flash is gonna turn this bike into a full-on stunt monster. We got the original gauge cluster. The bike doesn't start, it's missing a lot of stuff right now, so we're gonna go ahead and first task is gonna be hooking everything up, battery, fuel lines, ECU, all these extra parts that I actually have for the bike, and we're gonna try to get it started on our first update video on this bike. So stay tuned for that. It's gonna be a really big time, people. Because I personally know this bike has 4,000 miles. The bike checked out. It's a one-owner bike. We actually checked the VIN, and it matched the guy that was selling the bike to us. So I have complete confidence his story checks out. He bought this bike brand new for $11,000 less than a year ago. He let his buddy ride it. His buddy flipped a wheelie. You can see the subframe's broken off. So this bike is textbook exactly what you want when you're building a cheap, beautiful stunt bike. That's the best way to put it. You know, you don't want to buy a 2018 Ninja off the showroom floor for 8 grand and start building parts onto it, because then you're at like 15 grand by the time you're done. You want to buy a good base bike for a really good price, and then from there, if you have the knowledge and the resources, build it to your T efficiently, you know. So that's what we're doing. The radiator, absolutely beautiful, minty, intact radiator. A lot of the plugs, the harness is completely intact. The engine is beautiful for 4,000 miles. The side covers aren't scratched up, surprisingly, for as bad as the tail was. This thing wasn't like sent down the road or anything. The forks are actually back here. Triple tree's intact. I have a key for the bike, but I left it on his key ring, so I gotta drive there after this video is filmed and go and pick up the key for it. But the guy's name is Kane. He's a really nice guy. When you do all the mods to it, it'll have 200 plus potential.
Yeah, you don't even have to actually have a power button, they said. You might not even need it.
I told him what I was doing with the bike. I didn't lowball him or anything like that. I just cut and dry said, hey man, I'm buying this bike for my channel to give away. If you want to help me out with the price any, that's awesome. If not, I understand. He helped me out just a tad bit, but at the end of the day, I kind of overpaid for this bike. But it's one of those things where overpaying in my eyes is one thing, but you don't really find a deal like this in general. So if you're gonna overpay a little bit, it's a rare find. So you just, sometimes you gotta bite the bullet and pay more than you want to. But beautiful OEM gas tank. Oh, wait a minute. Look at that dent. And Tang, if you're watching this, that's who built this tank. I wanna see, I challenge you to take this tank and make it into a stunt tank. Do you have the technology? And of course the front rim, we got a battery here. But that's about it, guys. This is the gist of everything that we need. We're missing like a subframe and a couple other minor things, but everything that we need is right here for the most part, guys. So I'm actually gonna get this video posted for you guys and continue working on it, try to get this bike started, because that's a big peace of mind for myself once we get it running. That's gonna wrap up today's video. I hope you guys are as excited as I am to get this project started. I hope to see plenty of you guys join the Patreon and stay involved with this build, because I want everybody to be a part of it. And congratulations to whoever's watching this for your new future bike. But if you guys would like to join, link's gonna be in the description to join the Patreon. I hope to see all you guys there and be a part of this build. I'm super excited, guys. Well, other than that, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think of the new project. Like always, keep it dank. Later.
Yeah, I like to keep it mellow. I smoke and keep it mellow. I drink and keep it mellow. Every day I keep it mellow. Every day I keep it mellow. I smoke and keep it mellow.